You know it's time to start getting organized when your cable and charger pocket in your backpack starts looking like this. Hello, I am Wanderer001 and this is my review of BAGSMART Travel Universal Cable Organizer Electronic Accessories Case. I know that's a mouthful, but this is a case you put your cables in and your charger in or your hard drive in. This has lots of uses. My wife just kind of calls it my cable purse. Despite that name, it is extraordinarily useful. As you saw, my cable pouch was turning into a mess, so I got something to take care of that. So what we're looking at here is a case that is made up of heavy-duty, durable, supposedly water-repellent nylon. Now, I don't leave this out in the rain. It has gotten drizzled on a little bit, and it does not look like the water seeps in, but I'm not going to say leave this out in the rain and you'll be okay. Don't do that. What you're looking at is a case that has a length of 9.5 inches, a width of 7 inches, and a depth, when fully packed, of 1 inch. Now, what we're looking at here on the front is this. That's the front. You have a little label. I have feelings about the label because when I got it, there was plastic over the label, which looked like this. Do not know why, but they have this plastic covering the label. There's one inside too, was one inside over the SD cards. Now, the reason I'm showing you this is because this is sewed on. Like they sewed this protective plastic piece when they were sewing on the label. Now, it is removable, but you'll see that it's not clean to do. Like, I don't know why they put protective plastic over just a label up front. Like I said, they sewed this in, and you saw how much fun that was to get off. Now, imagine doing that and the one inside. Aside from the little accent flare on the front, that's all you're getting. There's not really much to look at. It's just a case. You can see it does pick up a little dirt. That's the side there. You do have 2 zippers, so you can have these however you like. Now, the one thing I will mention with the exterior of the case, and it's something I've noticed, is with the stitching. If we kind of come up there, you can see on the label itself, the stitching is kind of coming off. And I really don't care because it's just a label, but my concerns are here and here. I've had this probably for about 4 months and done some heavy traveling with it, and it looks like the stitching is coming a little bit loose, but not enough that the package or the case itself is coming apart. My concern or wonder is it's brown. Why did they use brown thread? Black would be so much easier and make more sense for a black case. But with that out of the way, let's actually take a look inside because you were curious to see how much you can actually pack in here. Well, this is what I would classify as like my daily loadout. Now, I didn't need a case like this before, but after I got the Google Pixel, which uses USB-C, I had chargers that were USB. So I needed to get a USB to USB-C adapter. And then I have these guys here, which are my basic micro USB cables for charging said charger and other items in here. So we'll just take a quick look. You don't have to use it like this. This is just the loadout that I have found useful for me. Now, when I do go away for a longer trip, I just kind of roll that up and throw that in there. This is just an Ethernet cable to use with my Hutu, which I keep down here, which is kind of just like a portable router that you can use when you're in a hotel, because sometimes the Wi-Fi isn't great. Now, with that said, a lot of people say that they use a hard drive in this pouch. And in fact, when you look at it, this is how they use this pouch for a hard drive. You can use a hard drive up there or a hard drive down here. Or some people, if they have a small camera, can also use it in this pocket. But I'm just going to show you that was a Western Digital hard drive that I just put into that pouch like it was nothing. Now, the Western Digital, depending, does come with a soft case, but if you want to kind of compartmentalize everything into here, you could do that. You can see I have my Pixel charging block down there. Up here is where I keep my RAV Power charger And because I'm living that sweet, sweet dongle life now, that goes up there too. You can notice that I have over here, this is just a, again, portable RAV power brick, which fits nicely in here. Now you will see that up here, there are special areas for SD, TIFF, and SIM cards. You could see that's just labeling. It's a little hard probably to see on the camera, but those do have specific labels. This is just an SD card, which you can pretty much see fits in each of the individual slots. So there's nothing saying that you can't stick an SD card in one of these other things. Now, again, you can only get 3 cards in here, and they're not going to be super protected. There is a little cushioning on the bag itself, but there's nothing protecting your SD cards from whatever you have over here. So if you have something like a Pelican case, which holds more SD cards, has cushioning and a tough exterior, that might be a little better, but if you're looking for like all-in-one, this is a good thing. Now, coming over to the cableage area, the one complaint I have about this is the elastic here is really tricky, like this part here. This elastic over time did stretch out a little bit, but the mesh area here still is a little tricky in getting my cables in. Like this one's a flat cable, so it goes in perfectly fine. This one up here, not so much. You could see I couldn't even kind of get that to stretch out enough to accept the cable. The Pixel cable is stretching out a little bit, but it's still kind of tight. It's not a deal breaker for me, but I want you to be aware of there are some limitations with this case. I mean, aside from that, what else are you gonna say about a case? It slips really well into my book bag. I don't have to worry about it. I just have a slot in the back of the bag I drop this into, and that front pocket that you saw before that looked like a mess is not a mess anymore. So for $20, which is how much this costs, unless you can find it on sale, it's well worth your investment, especially if you have to change your cable lineup, if you're moving to a USB-C and you have some hangovers for USB. It's well worth the money, especially if you are traveling and you're a photographer or a videographer, or you just need someplace to put all your kids' charging stuff and a small camera. And these pouches are universal. You can stick whatever you want to stick in there as long as it fits. So again, $20, well worth the investment for me, even with those small questionable items that I was referring to. They're not deal breakers for me. And again, for 20 bucks, if this falls apart in a year, I won't feel bad. But to clear up all that space, I like it. So, I have been Wanderer001. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the area below. And as always, thanks for watching.